Everyone tells you to pray harder when you're desperate. Ask with more faith. Declare victory. Here's why that kills your breakthrough. You're praying from the wrong place. Buried in Psalm 118:5 is a Hebrew cry that flips everything. Min ha-metzar karati Yah. From the narrow place I called upon Yah. Not from faith, not from victory, from the suffocating choke point where your back is against the wall. If you keep praying from where you wish you were instead of where you actually are, you'll miss the one posture that moves heaven. Because Yahweh doesn't respond to your performance, He responds to the honest, guttural cry from the pit. This isn't polished Sunday prayer. This is the midnight scream when the walls close in. Yeshua himself prayed this way in Gethsemane. When you understand what happens in that narrow place, you'll never approach the throne the same way again. If you're hungry for biblical truths that transform, hit subscribe and the bell now. Have you ever been in a place so tight, so crushing that you couldn't even form proper words? Most pastors will tell you that's a faith problem. But here's what that advice costs you. It turns prayer into performance, and performance keeps you trapped. That's ha-metzar, Hebrew for narrow, tight place, when depression has you cornered, when the diagnosis steals your breath, when addiction has its hands around your throat. The Israelites used this word for Egypt, not just slavery, but suffocation. Psalm 118:5 says, Min ha-metzar karati Yah, anani merchav Yah. From the narrow place I called upon Yah. Yah answered me in a broad place. He doesn't say he called after he got out. He called from inside the crushing. And Yahweh's answer? Merchav, total spacious reversal. The Hebrew karati isn't a quiet whisper. It's urgent, desperate crying out. And watch this. The psalmist doesn't even finish the divine name. He says Yah, the shortened, intimate form, like a child screaming, "Dad," in the dark. The danger, if you miss this, you'll keep waiting to feel spiritual enough to pray while heaven waits for your real voice. Let me show you 3 moments where this cry from the narrow place shattered everything. First, Jonah in the fish's belly. Jonah 2:2. I called out to Yahweh out of my distress, and he answered me. Out of the belly of Sheol I cried. Jonah wasn't asking for a blessing. He was drowning in digestive acids, and all he could do was scream. From that rancid place, Yahweh moved. 3 days later, dry ground. God didn't wait for Jonah to clean up his theology. He responded to the raw cry from the pit. Second, David in the cave. 1 Samuel 22, David fled there when Saul hunted him. Psalm 142:1, with my voice I cry out to Yahweh. The cave was his ha-metzar. No army, no throne, no way forward. David didn't wait for the situation to improve. He cried out from the cave. And Yahweh began turning those 400 rejects with him into mighty warriors. Third, Yeshua in Gethsemane. Luke 22:44. His sweat became like drops of blood. Hematidrosis, extreme anguish. The garden was his ha-metzar. And what did he pray? Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Raw, honest, desperate. No religious performance. Result? An angel appeared to strengthen him. 48 hours later, resurrection. The narrow place of the cross became the wide place of salvation for all of us. Yahweh doesn't wait for you to clean up the cry. He responds to the narrow place during it. not after. Here's the mystery most believers miss. The narrow place isn't the problem, it's the portal. Everyone's looking for the next anointing, the next prophetic word. But Yahweh is waiting to meet you right here in the crushing. Ha-metzar is where religious pretense dies, where polished prayers crumble. And that's exactly where Yahweh meets you. The psalmist says Yah answered with merchav, spaciousness, freedom. But it's not just circumstantial, it's spiritual. It's Yahweh's presence expanding your soul even when external pressure hasn't lifted yet. This prayer is dangerous to the enemy because it exposes the lie that your circumstances define your access to Yahweh. Satan wants you to believe you must fix yourself before approaching the throne. But ha-metzar says the opposite. You come as you are, gasping, broken, terrified, and Yahweh responds. 2 Corinthians 12:9, my power is made perfect in weakness. The narrow place is where his power shows up because it's where ours runs out. Here's how to pray from the narrow place, a 3-step process that works. Step 1, name the narrow place. Stop sanitizing. Don't say, I'm struggling. Say, I'm terrified I can't pay rent. I'm drowning in shame. The psalmist did this. Psalm 88 is 18 verses of raw despair. That's sacred. That moves heaven. Step 2, cry out, min ha-metzar karati Yah. Let it be guttural, not recitation. Yahweh isn't looking for eloquence. He's listening for authenticity. Heaven responds to desperation, not decoration. Step 3, wait in expectation for merchav. You may not feel immediate relief, but trust Yahweh has heard and is answering. Watch for the broad place, unexpected peace, a sudden open door, a shift in your spirit before anything external changes. Let me tell you about Maria. Lost her teenage son in a car accident. 2 years of fake smiles and suffocating quietly. One night at 2 a.m., she collapsed on her kitchen floor and screamed at Yahweh. No King James language, just, I can't breathe. If you're real, I need you right now. She felt the air shift, not audibly, but she felt held. For the first time since the funeral, she could take a full breath. The grief didn't vanish, but the suffocation lifted. 6 months later, she started a grief support group. The narrow place became her ministry. If you're in a narrow place right now, type merchav in the comments to declare that Yahweh is about to answer your cry with a broad place. Hit that like button to spread this revelation to someone who needs to know they don't have to wait until they're better to call on Yahweh. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a mystery we uncover. And grab my free guide, 7 Hidden Names of God, linked in the description. Revelations that will revolutionize how you pray. Listen, wherever you are right now, whatever narrow place has you pinned down, Yahweh hears you. You don't have to perform. Just cry out, min ha-metzar karati Yah, and watch him answer with merchav. The crushing isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your breakthrough. Yeshua has already walked through the ultimate narrow place, the cross, so you never have to face yours alone. Next time, we're uncovering the one phrase in the Lord's Prayer that terrifies demons and why most believers have never prayed it correctly. Until then, keep crying out from the narrow place. Heaven is listening.